Welcome to Beyond the Prep, a podcast dedicated to providing information and insights into the bodybuilding sport. This podcast covers a wide range of topics from finding a coach to the struggling of competing, nutrition, supplements, cost, and much more. I'll be talking with competitors so you can hear their stories, judges, coaches. If you're interested in sharing your story, send me a note at skapach40@gmail.com. Welcome to Beyond the Prep. I'm your host, Sherry Capach. I'd like to welcome this afternoon Erving, and he just finished competing. So welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Sherry, for having me on your show here.
So how did you get into bodybuilding?
I got into bodybuilding with my coach, Brett Leifel. He's also from Winnipeg. I came out with our group today. I just kind of went through different phases in my life, and I've done all other sports, softball, pretty much my whole life, played basketball and soccer, and I think I just needed something that was going to be an individual mental sport for me, just to focus on me. So I'm always going to still be a team player. And this is my second competition in my first year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So why bodybuilding?
For me, it's just, how do I put myself into that phase of putting myself only for me, not for anybody else. It's everything from the focus, the motivation, the dedication, the discipline, the drive. Each prep is going to be different. And doing these two shows in 1 year was something that I'll forever cherish, that I'll be forever grateful for. And knowing that every single day I put in the work 100%, I give my full efforts 100%, and I go plan by plan. I don't, do anything else but what is given to me.
And how are you finding it? Like, how'd you find doing two shows in 1 year? Were they close together, or was they?
It was a couple of months apart.
Okay.
So the first one was May of 2023 in Winnipeg, called the Van Dyke and the BBC Natural. I did the natural show, so I did 3 categories in there. And then I did this Golden Prairie Cup 3 to 4 months in Saskatoon. But it took me a little bit of time to refocus after the first show. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So when Golden Prairie came up, again, I talked to Brett, and he mentioned a good idea, and he said that just know that you're going to be on diet for the summer. And I said, I'm all in.
Okay.
I didn't even hesitate. I just, again, needed a couple of weeks just for me to kind of refocus on getting myself back into that grind mode.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
So what was the hardest part?
In terms of
okay, well, starting bodybuilding and going through the prep, what was your biggest struggle going through the prep? Because did you do like 16 weeks?
So the first show was 16 weeks.
Yeah.
And then the Golden Prairie was 12 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So for the 16 weeks, the last couple of weeks heading into the show, for myself, it was my calories were going low, and my cardio was getting higher every day. And it's the mental part of it, right? How do you get yourself focused on the last 2 weeks? For me, the diet was never a problem because I was so focused and dialed in on it. It was just getting up early in the morning to do your cardio, making sure you get your workouts in, making sure you're pushing through that last mental state of each rep, each set. And it's mentally exhausting, but for me, I kept telling myself, you don't work, 16 weeks, and then you just don't want to do that last run. You give it your all.
Right.
And for me, it's also not regretting that I did not give my full efforts. as I mentioned, I always get my full efforts. No matter what I was going through, no matter how I was feeling, I wanted to make sure that I gave it my all. Not looking back and, oh, I should have done this. That was never in my back of my mind.
Right, right. So, and you also today received the Golden Legacy Award.
Golden Legacy, right? Correct.
So, congratulations.
Thank you.
By the way,
Thank you.
and can you explain that a little bit? What that was?
Melina, who's hosting the Golden Legacy Award, I believe it was her mom that passed away, and I think her mom just wanted to give back to just in general. She's always a giving person, and I think the award was to any athlete that was going through challenges during prep or just kind of outside of life. And for me, it was both.
Okay.
I won't go into too much detail with my lifestyle, but
are you able to tell just a little bit?
Oh, 100%. Okay. Yeah,
I
know, absolutely.
Sure.
I grew up with 3 siblings, so I was the youngest. I have an older brother, older sister. My parents were married for 20 plus years, and they separated. It was a really hard time at a young age for me at 18. There's a lot I didn't understand, I didn't know about, and there's a lot more to that. Even years later to this day, that I still am finding out that wasn't the truth. And how do I manage to go through that? And going through this prep specifically for the Golden Prairie Cup, it was mentally challenging. My dad does live with me, and it's kind of hard to go through that phase of how do you battle through those tough days of those challenges, given the fact of what happened within it's your own family, it's your own dad. And to me, it was very, very dark times. But for me, the biggest thing was I did not want that to affect my performance, my attitude, my lifestyle. What I just did was I let that drive me to knowing I can overcome. Just focus myself, focus on my priorities, my responsibilities, and just knowing no matter what's happening in my life, I want to accomplish my own goals. And for me to accomplish my own goals, I have to be willing to put in the work, no matter no matter what I was going through. And for me, knowing that I battled through those 12 weeks, knowing that I was able to drive with my coach and my friends to compete, and earning this legacy award it's an honor and it's a blessing for me. And for me, deep down inside, it's a much bigger picture for me. Yes, I get to display that, but to me, outside of that, I give a lot of credit to my family, my friends, that doesn't know my story, but they know that how much work, how much focus I put into this prep specifically. And to get that award, it's a blessing, and I will always be grateful, will always be blessed, to everyone that's supporting me all the way through this. And to me, I always say to myself and to everyone, thank you. And deep down inside in my heart and my soul, my number one goal in my life is just to always be a better person every day, no matter what I've gone through.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, congratulations on getting that. That's
thank you.
Fabulous. And so what would you, if someone was interested in getting started or thought about competing, what's the best piece of advice you could give them, or you would give them?
Your focus and commitment has to be there 100%. And you will have to learn how to be very disciplined, that there's going to be a lot of people, family and friends that may not understand, and you're going to have to be willing to go over that hump of, can you deal with that? How do you handle that? Because there's going to be a lot of sacrifice, there's going to be a lot of selfishness, and if you're willing to do this competition, your focus and commitment has to be there 100%. And you definitely need a great support system. You need a great coach that's going to be there to support you, to guide you every single step of the way. And you're going to have to give up a lot of things that you love doing in life.
Right.
And you're going to have to be out of your uncomfortable zone. And if I can just give one piece of advice to anybody, always be yourself. Always be yourself 100%. Because if you can't be yourself, you're not going to get anywhere. And for me, respect is always going to come.
Great advice. Absolutely. Like you say, going into something like this, there are a lot of there's even the peer pressure of, oh, can't you just come out? Can't you just eat this? Just have one drink. And so you do, your circle shrinks a little.
It does.
For sure.
Yeah. That's where the selfishness comes in, and the commitments, the sacrifices.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have to be that person to say no.
Yeah.
And it's going to be uncomfortable, but if you're going to be focused on a goal, you have to be committed to it 100%.
Wonderful. On that note, I want to thank you again, and I want to congratulate you, and good luck on your next one. If you have one coming up, are you coming doing anyone this year, or you're waiting until next year now?
This year, no more.
2024
is still up in the air right now.
Okay.
Like I know I have said I don't want to compete
until you start.
Yeah, and life changes, right? And again, the golden Prairie Cup, it was something I was thinking about during my prep during the BDC, right? And right now I just like to live in the present. And for me, thank you for having me on your show. I'm very grateful to you, and to everyone out there, just keep focusing, be positive, and focus on yourself, on your goals.
Beautiful. We'll end it on that note. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to thank my guest today and my listeners for joining me at Beyond the Prep. If you like this episode and want to make sure you don't miss any others, please subscribe. You can also find us on YouTube.